He may be Hollywood's loser of the year, but Prince Harry did win in a court of law in his first of 3 battles against the tabloids. However, how big was this win actually, and how did Piers Morgan respond? Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor, and yes, I try to cover all of it, and Prince Harry did have a win. It happened on Friday when I was at a studio, and I wanted to make sure we did report on this, and now that we've waited, we can give you the full sort of understanding of, well, how much of a win really was this? At the end of the day, it's hard to dispute this is a win for Harry. The judge did say that there was widespread and habitual phone hacking in his first lawsuit against the British tabloid. He won £140,000, but that's a far cry from what he asked for. The original amount that he was fighting for was about £440,000. So take that as you will. He also only won 15 of the 33 claims that he was fighting. So overall, he didn't win everything that he was hoping. In all the articles, only 15 of them were deemed, I guess, the judge deemed in favor of. But let's go to what Harry's barrister said outside the courtroom, and then we're going to play you Piers Morgan's response. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments, guys, but here's David Sherborne, Prince Harry's barrister, responding to the win.
Today is a great day for truth, as well as accountability. The court has ruled that unlawful and criminal activities were carried out at all 3 Mirror Group newspaper titles, The Mirror, The Sunday Mirror and The People, on a habitual and widespread basis for over more than a decade. I'd like to thank my legal team for so successfully dismantling the sworn testimony of Mirror Group's senior executives, legal department and journalists who at least turned up to court, unlike their colleagues who were perhaps too afraid to do so. This case is not just about hacking. It is about a systemic practice of unlawful and appalling behaviour, followed by cover-ups and destruction of evidence, the shocking scale of which can only be revealed through these proceedings. The court has found that Mirror Group's principal board directors, their legal department, senior executives and editors such as Piers Morgan clearly knew about or were involved in these illegal activities. Between them, they even went as far as lying under oath to Parliament during the Leveson inquiry, to the Stock Exchange and to us all ever since.
So that's a portion. Prince Harry said he was very grateful for the truth coming out as well. But let's get into Piers Morgan's reply before I offer my commentary. Here's his full statement.
The judgment finds there is just one article relating to the Prince, published in the Daily Mirror during my entire 9-year tenure as editor, that he thinks may have involved some unlawful information gathering. To be clear, I had then, and still have, zero knowledge of how that particular story was gathered. All his other claims against the Daily Mirror under my editorship were rejected. With regard to the judge's other references to me in his judgment, I also want to reiterate, as I've consistently said for many years now, I've never hacked a phone or told anybody else to hack a phone. And nobody has produced any actual evidence to prove that I did. I wasn't called as a witness, it's important for people to know this, by either side in the case, nor was I asked to provide any statement.
Just to correct there's a reason why he wasn't called, because he wasn't going to say anything. He was allowed to plead the fifth. It would have been a complete waste of time for everybody because he wouldn't have incriminated himself and he wouldn't have been able to respond. So it's frustrating of Piers to try to use that as, you didn't call me. Well, you wouldn't have talked. I still think they should have called him just to prove that he refused all the answers. But it's a little dishonest to Piers there.
I would have very happily agreed to do either or both of those things had I been asked.
And likely not perjured yourself and just not answered any of the questions.
Nor did I have a single conversation with any of the Mirror Group lawyers throughout the entire legal process. So I wasn't able to respond to the many false allegations that were spewed about me in court by old foes of mine with an axe to grind, most of which inexplicably were not even challenged in my absence by the Mirror Group counsel. But I note the judge appears to have believed the evidence of Omid Scobie, who lied about me in his new book, and he lied about me in court, and the whole world now knows him to be a deluded fantasist. And he believed the evidence of Alistair Campbell, another proven liar who spun this country into an illegal war. Finally, I want to say this. Prince Harry's outrage at media intrusion into the private lives of the royal family is only matched by his own ruthless, greedy and hypocritical enthusiasm for doing it himself. He talked today about the appalling behaviour of the press, but this is a guy who's repeatedly trashed his family in public for hundreds of millions of dollars, even as two of its most senior and respected members were dying, his grandparents. It's hard to imagine, frankly, more appalling behaviour than that. As for him saying this is a good day for truth, the Duke has been repeatedly exposed in recent years as someone who wouldn't know the truth if it slapped him around his California tanned face. He demands accountability for the press, but refuses to accept any for himself for smearing the royal family, his own family, as a bunch of callous racists without producing a shred of proof to support those disgraceful claims. He also says he's on a mission to reform the media when it's become clear his real mission, along with his wife, is to destroy the British monarchy. And I will continue to do whatever I can to stop them.
Now, they added some context. The court did not find that Piers Morgan hacked phones himself or instructed others to do so, as he implies here. However, the court found that Piers Morgan knew it was happening and benefited from it. Is some context of what was added here. Did he know it was happening? Look, he makes a very good point at the end, but it's kind of a deflection if we're being honest. I know a lot of you don't like Prince Harry and Meghan. I know he doesn't. But that rhetoric sort of doesn't matter to did he hack the phone? That's what we should be focusing on. Do I think Piers Morgan maybe knew? Maybe. Could it have happened and he just tried to play ignorant to it? Most likely. There was a lot of shady stuff happening at these tabloids at the time. And I do believe they would have absolutely used those tricks if they could have. And I do think he has to be very careful what he says. Piers Morgan, of course, he's going to deny it all day. But it's very possible he used information that came from these hacked phones. The question is, did he know it? Did he do it knowingly? The judge seemingly said yes, he knew it was happening and benefited from it. While he didn't hack it himself, which I do believe, he was clearly allowing that to happen under his watch to get better clicks and imprints. I mean, honestly, guys, do you think Piers could have done that back in the day? Maybe not so now. I want to hear your thoughts on there. At the end of the day, though, he makes a lot of good points, though, as to why, Harry's problematic, what the issues are. However, none of that really matters because he just won and he's likely now to win 2 more. I'm sure the other tabloids are sweating now, given that the judge found this right or wrong. Harry does deserve a win on this. Doesn't mean I'm a fan. I just got to report the news as I see it. And it's one win at the end of the day, as even GB News, he's lost nearly everything. A court case is all he's got left. It's true. This is really the one thing he can put his hat on. He put a lot into it. That said, he didn't win as big as he really needed to. He won some of it. And again, as Piers said, some of these people in there saying the things like, "Oh, it's frustrating. It's frustrating." But I suspect the truth lies somewhere in the middle. I do believe there was some phone hacking happening. The question is, did he prove it enough? I didn't think he did. The judge felt he did. What do you guys think? Are you frustrated? Do you think it's possible Piers was batting a blind eye to some illegal stuff happening? I want to hear your thoughts down below. Make sure if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for all alerts, smash that like button, and let me know what you think. We got to cover it as it comes in. And I will say it's the first win for Harry I've seen in a while. Not as big of a win as it could have been, but still a win nonetheless.